What is up, guys? I'm back here again with another YouTube tutorial on Fortnite UEFN. I figured I would kind of go over some dialogue with you guys so you can kind of set up a chat sequence. I haven't tampered with the AI one that they released, but pretty much type in dialogue. I do pop-up dialogue. When you, of course, drag it into the world, it is all default. Everything is blank. Your title is the header. So if you put like game with semicolons, it's gonna be right there in the center at the top as kind of a title telling you what is going on. You're also able to put in these kind of brackets, little squiggly brackets, and then you can type in player name and then put another little squiggly bracket at the end, and it will tell the player's name to them and like read off their gamer tag, which is kind of neat. You can do it as like a hey, uh, player name, and it would say hey Grim Place with some semicolons, and then you can put in the description, which is the body of the text. If you were to make this a widget, this is considered the body. Uh, you can say hey, what's up, and it would basically be like the person is talking to you, saying your name, and then it would say what's up. Uh, Auto display is completely up to you. You could do it at game start as like a start screen button, kind of, which is kind of neat. Uh, if you set it to never, you gotta trigger it to make it appear, of course. Response type is how many buttons you're gonna use. Um, most of the time I might do 6 at the most, because that's what it kind of used to be stuck on, is you can only do 6. But now you can do 12. I'll only do up to like 4 though, because people on console kind of have a harder time navigating menus that you create this way. So I do 4 to 6 at the most, and then I can kind of make my own custom dialogue boxes, which I could show you guys in a future video. And pretty much it's up to you on how many buttons, but each button is a different type of response that's gonna either trigger something or trigger another pop-up dialogue. That's why you can see there's a lot right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but got these right here. Those are all set up, ready to go. Um, but pretty much you would put the button text, what you want it to say, and the button to text, which is, close or whatever you want it to say, really. You can tamper with the opacity, which is if it's see-through or not. I think the lowest it'll go is 50% on default. On custom, you can do like translucent to where it's see-through if you want, and then just have the buttons appearing. It's completely up to you how you want to go with this. Um, Enabled during phase, of course, is set to always, because if you're in the game and you want to have it disabled, then of course you would have this disabled. But if you're in the game and you try to trigger it and it's already disabled, then you can't trigger it until it's enabled. So most of the time, these are always set to always. Activating team, you can have multiple set up to the same function and only have it set up to certain classes or teams. If you want to set up teams, you can do it that way. You just adjust these to team index and class slot. Um, this would be good, for example, uh, I have multiple classes in my games, so if I wanted to, I could make a custom shop for each of these, and it would probably save me way more time than doing it the way I'm doing it. Um, so I might think about doing that instead of having this, but for the time being, it's set up like that. But that's just an example of what you could do with it. You can make a custom shop. You can also make quest givers. You can make just random people walking around and talking with them. Um, the functions, of course, so you got show, hide, enable, disable, show to all, hide from all. It's completely up to you how you want to link these together. They are pretty much self-explanatory. On dismissed, these are functions that is like when you do a response. These are called events. Model widget would be the template. I could show you one actually real quick. These are the ones that I made. Um, when you make widgets, of course, you want to test them out constantly. You want to push changes up here and start, but you want to wait until everything is updated before you launch the game because it is very touchy, you know. Like if you edit it just by the littlest thing, you gotta push change and then start it once it's loaded. But anyway, this would be a message dialog, for example. I tried to make it look like Fortnite's menu just so people are more familiar with it and it looks natural, like they made it. So these are your buttons. You got your, let me make this bigger. So this is basically it right here. You got your common widgets right here. This would start out blank, of course, so you gotta put a canvas down, or well, I always do canvas. So I do mine with canvas. Your image would be your background. You can do custom images if you want. You just kind of drag it in, put it right there. And then this would be the title text block, so you can name it title and then put just, I mean, you'd have to link the view bindings, of course, so we can go over that too. But you've got your buttons here and here and here. Your text is here. I have another text right here that is blank. For some reason, when you link the bindings and you go back to edit and just for reference, it'll be blank. Or if you go to edit it, like what it says, and then go back, it'll be blank. But anyway, pretty much once you set all of these up, you can go in here and, for example, I have the title here already selected. You just click add widget. Title will be blank. Title equals text. Arrow going to the left with no line. And then you would have your creative view model with the title. And that's pretty simple for that one. Text input, it's kind of right here. That's what I named it. It's called a text block, but it's easier if you name them. So pretty much you want the text, you get the arrow. I don't know why, but it's just the way it is. And then you get your view model with the body. That's why it's called body. This would be your description and the pop-up dialog box. And then that's it for that one. For your buttons, however, you would make sure you're not selected to anything. Open up the view, add a widget, right? We'll do it just real quick. We'll add a widget. It goes to the blank box because nothing is selected, right? We're gonna go in here. We're gonna go, where is it at? My mic shut off. How did I do that? So we're getting a conversion, but it's not entering, so we're gonna remove it. Yeah, okay. I think I would have to hit the plus, but since I have it set up already, you would not click anything. You would just hit view bindings, and then it would add it to a blank one, and you would hit this, and then the conversion should be here, but for some reason it's not showing up. Let me see if it's this. Okay, it's that. So you would hit conversion functions and select the button that you are trying to find, which is right here in the model dialog. Okay, we're good. So you would find the get response, whatever button you're trying to link, which I highly suggest you set them up and name them. So I got button 2, button 4, and this one, which is button 1, I think. But anyway, get your response button. You make sure the arrow is pointing to the right. You go to your view model, which is the model dialog view model, and you do response. Once you do that, it'll add this next drop down. You do not have to click this. You can click this, but you want to find your button and then do click event. And for some reason, the link up works correctly every time, just like this. Okay. So then, if you want to have your buttons to where the dialogue, well, not dialogue, but the text updates inside of the button, then you're going to have to basically do the same thing you did with the title. See how it says text? But you would do it for each of your buttons. So I got button 4, text, arrow with the line going to the left, create a view model, model dialog, button 4, main text. They do have an option to have underlined text, but I don't do the subtext. I just do the main text. Um, Pretty much each button's got a different symbol. It's just different colors based off the button. But pretty much you just want to do it for each of your buttons, and then that is it for the widget. Uh, Another quick note, you see this flower. You want to make sure everything in this is synced to this flower, because if it is not, this thing is going to drag all over the place, and it's not going to look right. See? It's just not going to line up correctly. It's going to look weird. So you're going to want to make sure that every one of these has the flower in the same kind of location. That way it pops up in the right spot you want it at. Very big. Took me a while to figure that out and actually understand it, so I hope that does help you here. I'm not going to save this, but this is good. So linking wise on the dialogue, uh, it's pretty simple. Like I said, it's kind of self-explanatory. Uh, you're gonna need something that triggers it, or triggers it. Mine is set up kind of weird. You can use just the character device, but I want to use a button so you can kind of walk up to them and interact. If you step right here and you enter it, you will see the text and be able to interact. So you can set it up on a button, or you can set it up with the person using them as the event, or using the button as the event. I use the button. So when this button is pressed, this pops up. Pretty much it says, I called him Sir Burger because that's his name. Sir Burger says, hello, person. We welcome you into the realm. Then this little bracket right here, if you, I probably should have already said this, but if you hover over it and don't click, this big text box will pop up and tell you different types of commands you can put in. So it says use player name to dynamically include the name of the player, and also if you do less than CR greater than symbol, it will include a line break. So that's how you can kind of separate it and make it into more of a list. It's very good there. So for this one, I have a 3-button widget set up, ready to go. The default back button is 2 because the third button is in the top right, the little X button that you would see on like Internet Explorer or whatever. So I kind of set it up that way. That way they have 2 exit buttons. If your buttons aren't linked to anything, it is going to close the dialog box majority of the time. But to be safe, you do want to have it set up to close it manually too. That way, that way there's no bugs when you do start the game and you're like actually playing it. But pretty much on the next button or the continue button, it would kind of domino effect into the next one and show this one. So when you hit the button, you're interacting. On interact, it is showing the dialog. You can see it here in the functions. You got button 10. I didn't name it. Kind of lazy with my buttons because it's a button. But on interact with the button, it's going to show this dialog box. Pretty much it. I mean, depending on how you set it up is how you're going to get your interactions. These are set up for quests. So these are all different types of quests. So basically, you're going to hit help him, and then it's going to show this next one. Or for this example, I guess I should go over the RNG. This is set to an RNG device. Win, loss, or high or low, it's triggering different things. So if it rolls the lowest number, it triggers the lowest quest, basically, which would be the Wolf Slayer. You know, you kill 25 wolves, you get a reward, blah blah. You can either accept it or you can re-roll. I do 2 re-roll options because one re-rolls to give you a better quest and the other one gives you a easier quest. So I have them set up on 2 different RNG devices. And I believe they are under right here. So this is the tier 1, which has the low quest RNG. Pretty much activate it on responding to the same button. That way it's not as confusing. On win, you're going to show the hard enemy elimination quests. On rolled max and on rolled minimum, if you do it set up 1, 2, 3, this is how I did it. So you got on win, which is the winning value, and then on low and max, or on min and max, it does the other ones. Basically, yeah, basically that is it though for that. This one activates. Okay, so this one activates on the other one, but it's set up basically the same. It's got 1, 2, and 3, and then it's showing the other ones. But yeah, that's kind of how I did it. And then of course we have our trackers set up to when you accept the quest through the dialogue, it is giving you this tracker, and now you have a quest that is all linked together, of course, and showing it, making it a quest giver, basically. It's very neat. Really easy to use, the dialogue device, but I hope this kind of clarified some things for you guys and helped you out with your games. I'm very interested to see what you guys actually are coming up with. That way I could possibly get an idea off of you. So if this helped you, please like and comment the video and stay tuned for more quick and easy tips on random stuff that I come across. Thanks for watching.